Dreaming of blissful summer days and creamy popsicles? Capture sun-drenched memories with the Orange Vanilla Dream Hydration Multiplier from Liquid IV. Just one stick and 16 ounces of water can help hydrate you better than water alone. Live your summer dream with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code INDULGE20 at checkout.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. So just like you, he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love entertainment, current events, and Hollywood, don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Antihero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Rich Allen.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, madam.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I love going back to the beginning. I always say the beginning charts our trajectory in life, our little habits that we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. So tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like? And when did you, catch the bug for music?
That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Started very young. Actually, it's one of those stories where my father was a musician and put a guitar in my hands when I was literally 2 years old. So I grew up listening to his 78 vinyl. And, he played in Nashville and Vegas. And so music was in our house all the time. So having a guitar and the foundation and the core of just classic country, with the artists like Jones and Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash and Buck Owens, and it went on and on. And so that was the foundation and the core of my music side. And my dad being a musician, guitars were always around the house, even pedal steels. And so that was the influence early on. But it really was one of those stories of growing up with family and friends coming over on the weekend, and they would jam. I had to go to bed, but they would keep going until probably 2, 3 a.m. So
Love it.
It was a household of music for sure.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. And, my gosh, like Nashville is like the heart. A lot of legends come from there, just amazing music. So it's like you're part of that, I guess that energy, which is really cool.
It is cool. In fact, I was in Nashville a couple of weeks ago. I was in studio and I started hanging out and meeting some songwriting friends in Nashville, the Circle of Writers, which is really cool because when you write and create, it's cool to hang around the same kind of cats as you. You have a really a common thread per se, and it's a place that feels like home. It feels really good. I've recorded there. I've written there. The Hall of Fame, just walking through and songwriting with people who are in the Hall of Fame. So it's been a really cool journey. I'm really blessed for sure.
Absolutely. So this, amazing song that you have, Innocent Kiss, tell me a little bit about the process of it and, and where was the idea come from?
Yep. Great question. So it actually got its legs in Las Vegas.
Nice.
So I was in Las Vegas and looking over the city. Actually, I had a project. We were playing at Gillies on the Strip. It was really fun, and some really good musicians. And just inspired one day, looking over the city, and the storyline came into my head, and the lyrics came into my head. And when I write, it's music and lyrics at the same time.
Okay.
So I really have to feel the energy and the storyline, and one complements the other. And I just thought it was a really cool little story to think that person's out there. You may have bumped into him already, and you really need to think of somebody right in front of you might be that special one, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of the storyline.
I love that. Um, yeah, you mentioned the song is about that girl you're not thinking about at the time. Is there a particular person or moment that sparked like this reflection that led to kind of the song too? Like, was it a person that you dealt with in the past?
So it was not.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
some of the stories that I write are just storylines. And I have a lot of songs I've written that touch me personally,
Yeah.
and I've written that as well. But this one was just one that came into my head. I thought it was really cool, and I
Yeah.
was in the moment and just put the pen to paper and put it in studio. And I thought it was just a fun little song to sing along.
I love that. Yeah, the song core, message also, seems to be about not taking, small unexpected moments for granted, right? And
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
how has this philosophy played out in your life outside of music?
You know, that's a great question. I think that anybody who's lived long enough and had a journey in life will know that you don't know how many moments you have,
Mm,
first of all, right? And I think that things are so important to slow down and really enjoy the ride. I wrote a song about myself called Live for the Moment. It's one of the 12 that I released.
nice.
And it's exactly how I feel. It's like you need to be in the moment and you need to live. And tomorrow might not come. And everybody, not everybody, but many people, they want to look at life as a long shot. And things will be better when I retire, and things will be better when I have money, and things will be better when I get the perfect house, and things will be better when I get everything lined up, you know, in my life, and I'm just in a good space. And you miss the in between. And having children, I think
Yeah.
that's really what echoes for me, because you hear it from people who have experience in life. They'll say, you know, it goes really fast. You need to pay attention to these years and these moments. And you really don't feel it. You think about it and you hear it. But when you look back and your children are now teenagers and they're grown adults,
Yeah.
you missed a lot of moments focusing on trying to make a better space in your life for yourself and them. And I
Right.
think that they don't care about that aspect. They just care about time. It's funny because I think they really appreciate the moments of time more
Hmm.
than the adults, because all they care about is wanting your time.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
that
time
crazy?
you can't get it back, right?
You cannot. You cannot. So yeah, it's something you need to learn as you go, and hopefully change the trajectory of your life. That you take things at value, and you treat people the right way and realize what's important in this life. You know.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. Yeah, you said sometimes a melody and hook catches you, right? But when the lyrics connected, but is there times where you recall in like in the journey of making music that you struggle to find the lyrics that truly connected? And how did you overcome that challenge?
Ah, that writer's block is real. You know. When you write in Nashville, I had a hard time adapting to the environment, because it really is in 30-minute sessions. They block out as songwriters. So I remember writing with Brady Seals of Little Texas and a friend of mine, Brian, and it was like 30 minutes. And it's like, what are we going to write about? And I'm not good at writing on command, because you think of a storyline and I have to really feel it. And so when I get those moments where I'm blocked, I just pass. I just
Mm,
pass it, because if it's not coming to me natural and it's not fluid, I know it's not right. And if I force it, I'm not going to appreciate the finished product. So when the storyline and the music come together, it's literally 15, 20 minutes, and you have the framework of that song for me. So
Yeah.
if I have to struggle and put things together and cut and paste in that Frankenstein type mode, I'm not good at it.
I totally get it. Absolutely.
Ah,
Um, growing up in, a musical household, with your dad playing in Vegas casinos and people coming over to play music, what's a favorite memory from that time that shaped your musical journey?
Are you?
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit lowes.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Passionate about film and in-depth conversation? Look no further. MVB Films Productions now offers exclusive access to unedited, unfiltered interviews and film content through our Patreon. Join for just $5 per month and unlock candid commentary, behind-the-scenes footage, and projects you won't find anywhere else. Hosted by Meosha Bean of Creator to Creators, this membership gives you a front row seat to the creative process. Become a member today. Patreon.com, Meosha Bean Official.
oh, wow. My father's no longer with me. So
Oh, I'm so
anytime
sorry.
I appreciate that. I think anytime I look back, it's the smiles and it's just, struggling, even holding a guitar is not easy when you first learn. So
Mm,
just the patience of him teaching me the craft and looking back at just a happy time. I mean, music in the household creates a happy time, and
yeah,
people want to sing and it brings people together, and that's why I love music because it's an emotion and you can share it with others. So
absolutely.
yeah.
I love that. So I love asking this question to every guest on the show, and there is no wrong answer. The three levels of influence: money, power, and respect. And if you could choose only one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
Oh, respect. Totally. I mean, money's not even part of my vocabulary. What money doesn't drive me. Um,
Love that.
too easy to get, too easy to lose, and there's too much value placed on it. Power. I don't have the ego because I realize it's God first, and I don't make the decisions. I follow paths based on, prayer and faith. So respect and respect in the regard, earning respect by doing the right thing and being a role model, treating people right, earning respect. It's not given. So respect out of the three, by far, to me, my opinion is exactly where I would top that.
That's beautiful. Love that. Your early influences include legends like Johnny Cash, George Jones, so many others. What specific qualities in their music resonates most with you as a young, artist or an artistry altogether?
The qualities of songwriting and storytelling.
Mhm.
My father signed me up for a Columbia record of the month, and it was vinyl.
Wow.
And he put me in the country genre, of course. And so I would get a Johnny Cash album, and I would listen to that thing. I'd get Elvis, or I would get George Jones. And if you listen to "He Stopped Loving Her Today," and you listen to the lyrics, and you really dissect the songs, I think that's what resonated was the lyrics and the storylines early on. Because to me, it had substance and value, And it was more than just the music. They had something to say, and as a listener and just receiving it was really cool. So the common denominator out of all the vinyl I listened to early days would be storylines for sure.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I feel like music has changed so much, like even how, down to how we consume music. Back in the day, it was.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Record, and now it's like Spotify and streams. And I'm sure that can kind of get a little like for indie artists or just independent artists all around, like could get kind of like tricky to like, how do you get people to listen to your music when we're such in a world that's so saturated with, music, yes, new music every day. So how do you, as an indie artist or an artist, how do you control that? How do you manage that in with such competition, I guess?
So it's a great question. It's a great path. I think it should come up a lot more often in conversation.
Thank you.
I was on an interview recently, and we did a pretty good deep dive into this subject because the distractions that can come into your songwriting, because the element coming out right now is AI. I mean, yes. AI can create lyrics, but it doesn't come from a place of substance, or it's not authentic. So it's hard for a storyline to come from AI because it doesn't have any feelings. It's just generated. Right. So the way I don't get any kind of distractions is I go in my music room, like where I am now, and I shut the door, and there's no influence. So I'm not online. I'm not looking at words. I'm not looking at any kind of even giving it an idea or a structure, because it's got to come from within. And when you hear music that is authentic and from within, I'm hopeful that it's never going to lose that. And AI is going to be able to substitute for that, because it's not going to be that. And I hope the listeners and people who really appreciate music understand this is generic and it's generated. Yeah. So I think just to be yourself, be authentic. And when I put something out, I do it because I feel it and it's authentic. And the people who like it, and the ones that don't, you can't sell yourself for something that you're not. In my opinion, you have to be authentic and stay true to yourself, Absolutely. So it's a great question, and it's going to be interesting where music goes because of AI and the type of tools that we have and songwriters have, even recording.
Yeah.
We recorded in the early day on 2-inch tape, and you couldn't just take a sound bite and take if a vocal is sharp, or you're coming in flat, you could have an engineer now go in and bend that and make it perfect. So everybody can be perfect. Guitar bends, everything else. Yeah. And in the day, a guitar bend or something that was a little bit off made it authentic, and people learn to appreciate it. So when you take canned product and you have it generated, I just think it gets away from authenticity.
So true. So true. Yeah. Like I don't know. I feel like it's there's so many things that you can talk about when it comes to like just AI. I know a lot of people are nervous about it, but it's like, it's here. So it's just finding ways to work around it.
Exactly. Like, we're not going to be able to change it, but
yeah.
we have to adapt. And I just hope the creative side that's out there in the world, that we don't lose that side and it doesn't get overtaken by, generic AI.
Yeah, that's hopefully not.
Exactly. Whole different conversation, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm just curious. Do you feel like, as an artist, do you feel like music is changing in favor of the artist, you have people now that they say that record deals is the thing, but then you hear that, you can get in these kind of deals that are not so good, that you're kind of like in bed with these huge record labels that own you, and you have to, and you're like, you owe them so much money. But then there's the indie side where you own yourself, but you just take a lesser pay. But then you hear really good stories that there's indie artists that make a lot of money, but all their revenue goes to them. So, there's few artists out there that do it. I mean, I don't know. Do you feel like it just depends on the deal that you get if it's a record deal or a big record company versus taking your own route?
So, yep, there's so many paths to go. And the thing about the music business that I really had to learn, because it is a business at the end of the day,
Right.
and the way record labels work, to your point, I mean, you alluded to it, an artist borrows the money from the label and they have to pay it back. And the way they pay it back is tours and merchandising, and you can still end up with a hit record and not have any money. It's happened to multiple artists. You hear the stories. And so to me, if you're going into it and you're doing it about the money, yeah, you have a choice to make. You're either going to get backed and you're gonna self promote, or you're going to get signed to a major. And that whole world, signing a major, like if a major label is going to sign a male vocal in the country genre, and they're going to do maybe two, and a competing label is going to have multiple. You might find a new artist coming up from a label perspective, and you might sign them and shelf them because you don't want direct competition with the investment you're making in your current artist. So you learn those type of things, and you realize really quick, okay, this is something, because you didn't have a product. You could be Johnny Cash when he signed later and with a different label where they didn't put the money to promote him. So even the labels, it's a business piece. So going indie is great. And right now with all the platforms, like right now, I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. The money side, and just straight up true, it has zero interest to me, because to me, and then I know might be naive to some, but no, it's true, because if that's my driver, I'm not going to have a quality product, and I'm going to take a path that could take me down that road, because it's going to be the first contract that comes to you. I've had indie labels in front of me.
Wow.
And if you take it and you just sign it away because you're so excited, you're going to sign a bad deal, typically. Or there's a lot of deals that are bad because it's on impulse, and then you're hooked into a deal. I mean, look at Prince's deal. So I think it's a diluted business, and there's a lot of platforms where artists have an ability to get to the masses. If you self promote and you get a following on your own, you have more value. You have more cards at the table when you play poker with the labels, in my opinion. So yeah, do your own promoting, get your own following. There's a lot of platforms. You can get on TikTok, you can get on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the label is going to be, well, who's going to sign me? Because I already have this big following.
The 6-part series is a deeply moving audio docuseries that confronts the often hidden trauma inflicted by institutional religion, sharing stark, real stories like Shattered Faith, Voices Unheard, Preacher's Kid, and Unveiling Darkness. Inspired by Meosha's own loss and featuring testimonies from survivors and experts, this series not only exposes the wounds caused within sacred spaces, but also illuminates a path toward healing and reconciliation. Available now on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Bandcamp, and more. Church Hurt invites listeners to listen, understand, and heal.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And you would think, I don't know, like you hear these stories, like you said, Prince, and I mean, there's so many others that was taken advantage of by big conglomerates of, companies. And it's like, owning their masters and all this other things like that. You would think that it would kind of detour people from wanting to get into the industry, but it seems like people don't. I don't know. It's like it's like I guess it's an allure. I don't know.
It is. It's a great word. That's actually the vernacular I was going to use. It's got a huge allure to it, and people want to get I think if you get into it for the right reason, it wouldn't matter, because if you're really generating music and you do it where you just want to create something and you want to share it with people, if money's secondary, I really believe you're going to have a more level set, and you'll make better decisions and put people around you who generally care about your product and not trying to make a dollar off you. So agents and A&R people, and I mean, there's some deep layers, right, before you even get to a deal. So you just stay true to yourself, stay authentic, and just be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm curious if music wasn't the way, and you didn't want to, if you didn't go down this music path, do you know what you think you would have chose if music wasn't the thing for you? What other career that you would have went down?
So I have sideline that I've done in support of, but there's nothing that supersedes music as a passion, something that's been with me my whole life. It's ingrained in me. Um, like I do it, I'll never lose it. I'll continue to do it till the day I'm not here anymore.
Okay.
So there's not another profession, that
Yeah.
I looked and said that would be really cool because I
Wow.
never had anything that's touched me or is a part of my spirit like music is.
And that's amazing. So, I mean, I would go to even as far to say you've found your purpose, right?
I have,
I
and
love that.
it's crazy you say that because I think everybody has a purpose in life or everybody has a gift in this life. And once you know what that gift is, it's great to share it with other people. And you will be really good at it if you accept that gift. So, and a lot of times I mean, it's not for the money. It's you're really good at it. Share it. And if you do it for the right reason and not monetarily, then I think you're gonna be blessed in this life.
People might have deep in their heart a love for Jesus and a love for God. They just can't handle religion and churchianity.
We don't speak up about it. We don't seek professional help. We have this almost unhealthy dependency on the church or church leaders.
Health, wealth, happiness, success, all the same old temporal thing.
Being mentally, sexually abused.
As if you truly love God, of course you'd throw out your TV. It's the devil's gateway into your home.
We're supposed to be a pastor too.
How are we going to get out?
I don't think I was deliberately abused, but with the Pentecostal church spiritualizing most problems in life, I wasn't dealing with the reality of my situation.
If you get right with God, you're going to be wealthy.
He paid for our sins. Therefore, I can do whatever I want in this lifetime and act and behave as I wish.
It's just kind of creepy, man.
People have been hurt by church, but really, people have been hurt by people.
Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world.
Church hurt Meosha Bean and join the healing online. It's more than a story, it's a mirror. Are you ready to face it? Church Hurt by Meosha Bean. Start listening today.
I'm sure throughout your career you've had some amazing moments in the journey. But could you share any particular, I don't know, moments that where you either like it could have been like a performance that you've done or shared with someone that stands out to you till this day?
There's a few that are etched on my mind, right? Playing a rodeo in Seattle, it was Northeast, and Crystal Dew, who's a country artist, and he's known for his rodeo songs. And he toured and duet with Garth Brooks.
Nice.
And I was up playing. It was side stage. We were at the same fair, rodeo, and it was a bull rodeo, PBR. And I got home at about 3 a.m, and I didn't have a rodeo song. And I thought, man, I want to see if I could write one. Cause I was in a moment where I was inspired, because when you're in that environment, it's very inspirational. It's very cool. And so I sat down on the stairs, and I knew exactly where I was when I wrote it. I know what time it was, and it didn't even matter. I had the energy and that passion. And so I penned a song, and it's one of mine. It's called, Cowboy Rides Away. And so there's moments that hit you, and you know where you're at when you did something. I mean, I wrote a song for my son called Gift of Life. To me, it's one of my best favorite songs. And anybody who has a son or children, if they listen to it, it'll touch them. And that's the reason I wrote it. But getting my son on stage and saying that was a great memory,
Wow.
in front of, 1,500 people.
That's amazing. I don't know why, but I'm just so curious. Have you heard of you mentioned Garth Brooks? Have you ever heard of this really crazy conspiracy theory about him that he was like a serial killer?
No.
I don't know why.
Sounds like a Netflix movie, though.
Literally, I think it should be. But the theory is that, everywhere he goes or performs or something like that, there's someone goes either missing or someone dies. And they're just like, what if it's like these comedians were like, what if he's doing like he's like this huge superstar that has to kill people to be famous.
I've not heard that.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I'm
It's
going to
the
check
dark
it out
web.
now
You
for
got to check
sure.
it out. It's
I
a real
will.
thing. It's like a huge thing online. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I got to check it out. I need a good laugh.
Right. Um, so you said don't overthink this was inspired by the moment you met your wife. Can you share a little bit about how that personally, like that pivotal moment transformed into a song?
Absolutely. Appreciate the question.
Absolutely.
So, my wife, she lived in Dallas at the time, and I was going back and forth from Savannah to Dallas. And she had come out of a situation and she was guarded. And the lyrics hit me. It was like, hey, don't overthink this. Like, you got to let your walls down, some of the lyrics. And so I pinned it on an airplane coming back from Dallas to Savannah. And I had the chord structure in my head. I had the lyrics in my head. When I got home, I went right to my music room and I wrote it. And I called her and I said, hey, I wrote you a song. And this is early on in the relationship. And she thought, okay, this is going to be a sappy, like, please don't do this. Don't ruin this moment. I said, no, you got to hear this. It's like polar opposite of that. It's like, you know what? You got to let your walls down. Don't overthink this. Like, life's too short. And when on the other side of the line, when you create emotion of somebody crying or really touched by a song, I thought, okay, this is a good song. It's happened twice in my life where I've written a song, actually three times. One was for my son, and I had people that I'd play it for, and it just touched him emotionally, and I thought, man, that's a good song because you touch them, right? You're sharing like this vision, and they're receiving what you wanted to lay out. And the other, I had an older gentleman that I knew for quite a while, and his wife died of cancer, and I wrote a song, Stars Above. Great storyline, and yeah, made him cry like a baby. And I thought, first of all, it's really cool that I gave him a gift, right?
Yeah.
And then secondly, though, like, I touched him. And when you're a songwriter, that's what you want to do. Which storylines and touching people, that's what I want to do. I mean, not everybody's in that game. Everybody is not doing it for the right. I'm not going to say right. That's very, righteous. But for me, the reason to do it is to touch people and to be authentic and put stories that they can feel good about, or they can be sad about, and put them in a moment where they understand what I was laying down, what I was feeling at the time, and receiving it is so cool.
I love that. That's beautiful. I love asking this question because everyone has a different words of advice, but for those aspiring songwriters or artists out there that want to get into this wild industry we call music, what advice would you give them?
So that's a great question. You have to keep doing it. You will get better. You'll learn it. Take feedback from people who know structure, can help you. It's not about failing. It's about when. Just continue to do it. And be authentic, be true to yourself. And whatever you put out, make it part of you. Because when it's genuine and it's from you and it's authentic, you're going to be better at it. And you're not going to be, well, you could be, the one hit, like you pull something out your first try. I'm not going to say never, but it's usually something that takes work and practice and connecting with the right people who will be genuine with you and give you honest feedback to make you better.
I love that. Love that. Looking forward to, what kind of, in the future, what kind of songs or stories, moments are you feeling drawn to explore in your upcoming music?
Gosh, you know what? I wish I knew because when I sit down and try to just put it together, it reminds me of being in Nashville in a songwriting session. There's some stories that I think about, but they just come to me at the time. So and it's just being an honest answer that I'm not really good, and nothing's come up yet that I said, oh my gosh, I got to write about that.
Yeah.
Because if I thought about it and felt it, I would have already penned it. So it's coming in the studio and just hanging out and playing and just seeing what comes to you. And when it does, it just hits you. And it's literally in 15, 20 minutes. Like, first thing I did ever was I've thought about it and talked about writing a Christmas song. And I'm going to track it. I'm going to be in Nashville. And I want to track it because I'm going to release something in December.
Nice.
And I felt it. And I was like, oh my God. And it came to me, and it's something, and there's so many cliche Christmas songs. Do you want to talk about a hard song to write? a seasonal song because it's been done a million times. You're like, how can you be different about a Christmas song? Right. So I'm still, I have the framework of it. I have to go and polish it, but that's probably my next project that I haven't touched. I'm in uncharted territory, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm excited for you.
I appreciate it.
That's definitely exciting. Where can people find you and follow you on social media?
So right now, my social, I have somebody I'm working with to develop my social to be, because I'm not great at it. So somebody's going to help me. I know right now that Rich Allen, you can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. There's about 12 tracks out there right now. My first single I released July 4th, and that was Innocent Kiss. And my next one will be my follow-up, which is Don't Overthink This, which you have storylines on both now, which is kind of cool.
Hey, I got the scoop.
Yeah, you do. You do, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you.
It was an honor being invited, and I appreciate it. And thank you for the time today, and look forward to coming back.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.